Hey there, everyone. Tonight we have a lot to discuss about, especially oh my god, yeah. This is going to be kind of insane. I mean, seriously. This is we're going to be talking about the alternate NFL uniforms, and we're also going to talk about Aaron Rodgers' future, especially since he has until July 2nd to opt out. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he can opt out without losing any money. So he has until July 2nd, or is it after? But either way, yeah. Alex Anderson, welcome. Hurry up football. Yeah, I know. Which reminds me, training camp is next week, but the question is, will Aaron Rodgers even be there on Packers' end? I mean, seriously. The fact that Aaron Rodgers can opt out and keep the money, this is going to be sick. This is going to be sick. We'll have to wait till July 2nd or less. Go Sierra and Wilson. Danny P, welcome. I mean, seriously, I could definitely see the fact that Aaron Rodgers can keep his money while opting out for the year. This could spell disaster for Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love, you may have to start early. And, of course, there's the Pittsburgh Steelers changing up the offensive guards from David DeCastro to Trey Turner. Man, unbelievable, I might add. And, of course, there was also the biggest news. Starting in 2022, which is next year, the NFL will allow teams to change their uniforms, alternative uniforms to be precise, which means as a Tennessee Titans fans, we get to see them in Houston Oilers reborn uniforms, to be precise. Yeah, we get to see the Tennessee Titans as Houston Oilers uniforms. But that's going to have to wait till 2022, which is next year. And by then, we're all going to have to get Hulu accounts to see them unless you live in Nashville, by the way. So, yeah, this is kind of a so, yeah, who would have thought we'd get to see the teams change up their uniforms next year? This NFL season is going to be fun. Yes, Danny P, it surely is. But the question is, will everyone be present? I mean, we are heading to the moment where there are some NFL players who can opt out this year, despite everything almost going back to normal. I remind you about the COVID rules. Only the fully vaccinated players are back to normal. Everything else is still locked down. So yeah, there is a chance that players that haven't gotten the vaccination can opt out, or there's players that are seriously done with their teams can opt out. Seriously, because we already know Aaron Rodgers can still keep the money if he opts out. Suns or Clips tonight. Alex Anderson, I'm gonna have to say the Los Angeles Clippers. To be quite honest, I don't see how Phoenix Suns are gonna prevent a Game 6, even without Kawhi Leonard. To be quite honest. Speaking of nice take, boss. Because that's how Clippers roll. To be quite honest. honest. They start off 0-2 before making the huge comeback. It's like they lost their games on purpose just to get their opponents overconfidence. Getting your opponent's overconfidence guarantees you victory. Love seeing the crowd back in arenas. Danny P, I completely agree with you. Love seeing the crowds back in the arenas, to be quite honest. It is quite amazing. The question is, will things go back truly go back to normal? That's a question no one knows, considering the fact that everything that's going on in the world. I mean, there are some players who could reject both their deals and the vaccine at the same time and just say, oh, heck, I'll retire. Screw it. I don't want to live in this crazy world anymore. That's bogus. But no. To be quite honest, there's no way in hell. To be quite honest. Anyways, back onto the topic. I think. So, yeah. There are still some players that can opt out for the year. And I think we already know that by July 2nd, Aaron Rodgers could be one of them. Well, we don't know 100% to be sure, but it's more likely to be precise. Aaron Rodgers can still keep the money while at the same time, he can still keep the money and opt out for the year. Because no way in hell is retirement going to happen. Because that means bye-bye money. Ching! Though Deshaun Watson should think about opting out for the year because between his struggles with Houston Texans and the lawsuit, I think he would be more of a distraction. He's already a distraction to the Houston Texans. To be quite honest. And if I were Green Bay Packers, if I don't trust Jordan Love, I would definitely make a run for Gardner Minshew. Yeah, bring in Minshew Mania onto the Packers because, to be quite honest, is Jordan Love even 100% ready? And if Jordan Love gets injured, who's after him? That's why Green Bay Packers should be in the running to trade with the Jacksonville Jaguars to get Minshew Mania on board. I mean, quite seriously, what happens if Jordan Love gets injured? Instant trouble for Green Bay, to be quite honest, based on QB departments. So, yeah, Minshew Mania might be the backup solution just in case anything happens to Jordan Love. And if it doesn't happen before the regular season, maybe during NFL trade deadline, because whether Jordan Love stays healthy or not, well, I guess it all depends on Green Bay Packers and Jacksonville Jaguars situation, to be quite honest. Because you never know what could happen to Trevor Lawrence. My bet is that Jacksonville could keep keep Minshew Mania around. And if Trevor Lawrence gets injured, then they don't need to trade him before trade deadline. What if Trevor Lawrence stays healthy and becomes the big threat? Then there's no doubt Minshew Mania is going bye. So yeah, I think we could see Gardner Minshew Mania get traded. To be quite honest, I think Packers would be a perfect fit because they honestly don't know their situation. I mean, sure, they can use Jordan Love as the starting QB, but what happens if he gets injured? Bye, Packers. Minshew to Packers is nice. I completely agree, Danny P. That's why I just said it. That's why I just said it. And speaking of trades, looks like Stephon Gilmore is basically a popular person. Stephon Gilmore has a few places to go. He could get traded back to Buffalo or probably to Cleveland, to be quite honest. Because let's be honest, Stephon Gilmore, no offense, Patriots, but are you using this guy correctly? Plus, Stephon Gilmore is having cap issues at the moment. He was promised an extension by the Patriots, but come on! You could have done it by now. Or they probably would delay it until August, just like Titans did with Clowney and Gostkowski. Oh, wait, that was a September signing. No one wants to sign guys that late. No training camp equals practice equals no experience. Especially when you're who's the Titans tight end. Alex Sanderson, for the moment, the starting tight end is Anthony Firkser. So yeah, Anthony Firkser is the starting tight end of the Tennessee Titans at the moment. But I'm pretty hoping Titans get a tight end. Jay in the Bay, what's up, man? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining. 8 to 9. So yeah, Anthony Firkser is the Titans tight end right now. But Titans also have a kicking situation right now because they're stuck between Tucker McCann and the kicker from Ohio State, Blake Beal, to be precise. You think Rodgers will be traded before the season starts? Jay in the Bay. To be quite honest, I think he's more likely to be opted out rather than traded. But if I had to pick a team that's going to be trading for Aaron Rodgers, it's got to be Denver Broncos. Denver Broncos is the obvious favorite. Then the AFC West would become the State Farm division because both Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes are in the division. But it would cost the Broncos a lot. According to the mock trade, that would have cost them a lot of draft picks and, of course, a few of their rookies. And, of course, Drew Lock and Patrick Surtain II, to be quite honest, who they just drafted at number 9. And I'm pretty sure Packers can get Drew Lock cheaper than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, not like that. I'm thinking that Drew that Packers could pick up Drew Lock cheaper without trading Aaron Rodgers. But if they want Aaron Rodgers, then you gotta. But the Packers seem hell bent on not trading Rodgers. You bet. So by July 2nd, he might be heading for out the window. Big Steve-O, what's going on with the number one Titans fan? Thanks. Here's Mike Oxlong. Thank you for joining us. Rodgers is a cocky guy. Danny P, I completely agree. He is not one to be taken likely. But so most likely by July 2nd, we could be hearing Aaron Rodgers to be one of the players that opts out because Packers seriously are stubborn as mules. Rodgers will probably sit out the season. Yep. Jay in the Bay, you got it. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Aaron Rodgers will sit out the year. Jordan Love will get his time. The question is, will Packers stay the NFC North champs? To be honest, not quite. There's still Vikings who have most of their big guys. They got Kirk Cousins. They got Dalvin Cook. And even though they traded away Stephon Diggs, who they get to replace him last year? Justin Jefferson, because the Philadelphia Eagles screwed up and picked the wrong receiver. Yeah, the Eagles set the stage to allow the Vikings to replace Stephon Diggs with a better receiver. And then, of course, there's Chicago Bears, who's in a struggle between Andy Dalton and Justin Fields. Who do you think is the favorite to win NFC North if Rodgers sits out the season? That's a good one. There is the Minnesota Vikings who have Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, and to be quite honest, it is a tough call to make. Then, of course, there's also Chicago Bears who is struggling between Andy Dalton, Justin Fields at the moment, and then there's also Detroit who is starting the year with Jared Goff. But in the end, I got to say the Minnesota Vikings if Rodgers sits out the year. If Rodgers sits out the year, it's got to be the Minnesota Vikings who win the season because there is no excuse. There is no excuse. But then again, there is no excuse for Vikings and Bears, to be completely honest. But mostly the Vikings. I agree. The Vikings are the most talented in the division. I think, yeah, because like the Tennessee Titans, the Vikings have a talented QB. They got a fast running back, and they got a young receiver. Even though they lost Stephon Diggs, they replaced him with Justin Jefferson, who should have been drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles 2 years ago, but the Eagles picked Jalen Reagor and gave the Vikings the opportunity to pick Jefferson. I mean, seriously. Seriously. The Vikings are the NFC North team who has no excuses whatsoever to not lose the division if Aaron Rodgers sits out the year. If not, then this team's going to have some questions. To be quite honest, the coaching staff's going to have questions. Just like the Titans did last year. Just like the Titans staff had last year, but they blamed it on the players. Are the Vikings going to do the exact same thing if they don't win the division in a division where Aaron Rodgers is no longer in it? Because Chicago Bears, they're having a QB. They're still struggling between Dalton and Fields, and And Detroit Lions is starting Jared Goff for the first time after trading Matthew Stafford to Los Angeles. And of course, there's also a lot of other names out there, but Chicago and Detroit, obviously not the most mentionable teams. So yeah, if it comes down to it, Minnesota Vikings has to win the division, or else there's going to be, otherwise people are going to be raising flags and start to question Minnesota Vikings. Unless, of course, Andy Dalton goes all out this year and doesn't let Justin Fields get the shot. But there's no way in hell. Because the Packers production. Do you like or hate Aaron Rodgers? To be quite honest, Packers production, even though the Packers destroyed the Titans last year at week 16, I still got to give Aaron Rodgers my respects. But of course, they did have Matt LaFleur, who was Titans offensive coordinator for 1 year as their head coach. So they knew the Titans defensive playbook. But still, I got to give Aaron Rodgers some respect. But now the question is are the Green Bay Packers literally going to do the same thing? Because, yeah, Packers are going to have dangerous repercussions. I mean, seriously, they're basically like the Houston Texans right now, struggling. I agree. I hope he stays, but I'm not sure he will. Well, we have to wait till about July 2nd for that till about before or after July 2nd for that decision. To be quite honest. I don't know when players are allowed to opt out. Is it before or after? Yikes. Still, I wonder what the Packers' alternative uniform is going to look like, especially the helmets. Will they be having cheese on it? Well, I know Titans. They'll have Houston Oilers-like uniforms once it's 2022. Yeah, that would be funny if we had cheese on it. Yeah, you better believe it. I think the Vikings would be having boats on their uniforms. Nah, there would no way they could fit boats. Jeez. Speaking of which, Pittsburgh Steelers, man, did they change up their offensive roster? I mean, seriously, saying goodbye to one Pro Bowler for another. David DeCastro for Trey Turner. The question is, can Trey Turner protect Big Ben? Well, he did serve 5 years with Carolina and then last year with Los Angeles Chargers. So he spent a lot of time with lots of QBs. Cam Newton, Teddy Bridgewater, Justin Herbert. Oh, no, wait. Teddy Bridgewater. No. Nah, it's Cam Newton and Justin Herbert. And now he's moving on to the big leagues with Big Ben. But is Big Ben actually going to be in his right prime? Sure, they managed to keep Juju Smith-Schuster, but they lost some. But they lost some key players along the way, like say Bud Dupree from the defense, who basically signed with the Titans. They also lost Olela to the Titans as well. Or should I say Ola? Never mind. And TJ Watt is scheduled to be a free agent next year. So, unless, of course, he gets that huge contract deal done. What's next? Joining his brother, JJ Watt in Arizona. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just have to see, won't we? Meanwhile, there's still a lot more. There's still a lot more going on, to be quite honest. Meanwhile, the tight end university's already started. And lots of tight ends are helping out the future generations. Including Tennessee Titans tight end Anthony Ferguson. Hope lots of teams are getting ready for training camp because, training camp starts next month. Starting with the Cowboys and Steelers because, let's face it, they got the Hall of Fame game. And then after that, it's Tampa Bay Buccaneers because, the Bucs are the Super Bowl champs. The only reason that they're going for that there won't be an additional team going with them afterwards is because Dallas Cowboys is their first opponent. But then after that, the other 29 teams are ready to go. To be quite honest, as a Tennessee Titans fan, I need to see most of these guys ready. I need to see Bud Dupree. I need to see Caleb Farley before I can feel good about what we just did. I mean, I already saw Dylan Raines and Julio Jones and a lot of other guys, to be precise. And Danico Autry. Yeah. But I need to see Bud Dupree work out. I need to see Caleb Farley work out, to be quite honest. And there's still the Elijah Moulton thing. No word on Elijah Moulton's contract. No word on if he's ready to go or not, to be quite honest. This is going to be a tough order as a Titans fan. I'm pretty sure that a lot of players want to see their guys up and ready to go, especially since you didn't see most of your favorites out there. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are wondering, why didn't my guys take them? But but we did get word Todd Downing has his new offensive game plan. Last year it was the Derrick Henry show. This year Todd Downing is going to make it the AJ Brown show. They want to focus more on AJ Brown than Derrick Henry, which means we're going to be seeing Ryan Tannehill throw the ball to AJ Brown a lot. To be quite honest, I wouldn't mind that, to be quite honest. But then, of course, rolling into the same guy over and over and over again. You're still tighten up. Welcome. Going to watch NBA soon. I bet it all on the Suns. Danny P. Oh my God. Yeah. I'm still needing Taylor Lewan. I still need Taylor Lewan completely healthy, though, to be quite honest. I mean, seriously. Taylor Lewan, my God, gets injured a lot. I hope this is his year where he doesn't get injured, because I would hate it if they decide to cut him loose, footloose, all because he keeps on getting injured. Good part about having Taylor Lewan back. The good news about about Titans' schedule is that Tennessee Titans will have Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, and Indianapolis Colts first 3 games, for a few of which hopefully Taylor Lewan doesn't get injured. But to be quite honest, I don't think he will. I don't think I have to worry about him getting injured against Arizona, because preseason, not gonna happen. To be quite honest. I mean, seriously. Meanwhile, we still got a lot more. Yeah, I'm sure all Phoenix Suns fans want to see Clippers lose the series. I'm sure all the Portland Trail Blazers fans want to see Suns kick some Clippers butts, because yeah, they're in the running to get that Chauncey guy as their new head coach. I mean, seriously, as a Lakers fan, I already know that Dallas Mavericks already hired Jason Kidd. I'm pretty sure he's planning to take some of the Lakers staff with him over to Dallas. Yikes. Not like it matters. He was a Maverick first. Can't exactly blame him for that. Cardinals have old PPL. Yeah, you bet. But their defense, they had J.J. Watt. They have Dredman. They have Butler. To be quite honest, that defense is going to be dangerous. Good thing Titans have them early. Who's the Titans' toughest matchup this season? Oof, yikes. Cardinals, Seahawks, Colts. No way, not the Jets. Jaguars, Bills, Chiefs, Colts, Rams. Oof, I don't even know. I don't know, but my head's telling me it's Kansas City Chiefs, because they are the defending AFC champs. To be quite honest, good fit, but a lot of people who face the Chiefs and the Buccaneers this year are going to have to hope the Madden curse catches up to them. Rams to me, or Bills. Yeah, you could be right. Matthew Stafford was difficult to beat, even though he was on a beaten up Lions team last year. A lot of teams who are battling the Chiefs and Buccaneers are going to have to hope the Madden curse catches up to them, because it's 2 teams on the cover, not 2 players on different teams on the cover, not just one. To be quite honest, I was relieved that King Henry didn't make the cover because I do not want to face the Madden curse this year with Todd Downing and Shane Bowen as the coordinators. Nine is toughest opponents for your Titans. Well, we'll just see. San Francisco. Yeah, but here's the thing. San Francisco and Tennessee don't face off till about December 23rd. And we'll just see who's the QB then. Jimmy Garoppolo or Trey Lance. I hope it. But still, let's just hope one of us secures an easy pass to the playoffs by then, or hope at least one of our teams get a bye week. Because it would get ugly if the playoffs were on the line. Or the championship title on the line. Yeah, the Chiefs are pretty tough. Yeah. I mean, seriously. We could have set them. The Chiefs traded one of their picks for Orlando Brown Jr. from the Ravens. I mean, seriously. That pick Ravens used to get OF from Penn State. You know which team can take advantage of this Madden curse? The Dallas Cowboys. Because, they got the Chiefs and the Buccaneers this year. So, wish we faced Ravens. Yeah, but we don't face them unless we somehow make the playoffs. But you know who does face the Ravens? The Indianapolis Colts. Which is quite ironic. Which is gonna make Titans fans struggle. Between our division foes and the team that humiliated us. It's called confliction. I mean, seriously, confliction, man, people. Between division foes and the team that's Jimmy G will remain the starter as long as we're winning games. Yeah, your San Francisco 49ers better get their games on because one of their Sunday night football games is against Indianapolis Colts. And you better be ready for that defense. Yikes. Believe me, that defense is going to be dangerous. Of course, Indianapolis did lose Justin Houston. Imagine Kelsey retires. Like that's going to happen until they get a few more Super Bowl rings. Indianapolis Colts may have lost Justin Houston, but who do they drafted? Kwity Paye to replace him. I think Titans can't. Mr. Weezer, welcome. I think Titans might go after Justin Houston or Melvin Ingram, but I don't know about the other tight ends. I think they're comfortable with Anthony Ferguson. Of course, the last team that spoke to Melvin Ingram was Miami Dolphins. be completely quite honest, this is going to be a tough call. I would rather have Justin Houston or Melvin Ingram than a tight end. I think so too. We definitely need to improve the defense. But let's finish start a rival with one of the NFC West teams. Yeah, well, at least he play. Yeah, but he also plays on Christmas night. The Colts game will be tough, but we should win. Yeah, because you got the home field, guys, and we have a hole at nose tackle. Yeah, I completely agree, but I think they're going to be. But I think they're comfortable with Tier Tart, to be quite honest. I think they're comfortable with Tier Tart. Otherwise, they would have made a move by now. Our bye week is the week before the Colts game. We will be rested and ready to dominate. Yeah. Meanwhile, Tennessee Titans, they have a week 13 bye week. Thanks to it. We also have Avery Jones at nose tackle. Yeah, but I think Tier Tard would definitely get the starting gig once this is out. Once this is quite over. But you're right. We should get a proper nose tackle just in case anything happens, but they're comfortable with Tier Tard. What are we supposed to do? I mean, seriously, if they're comfortable with Tier Tard, we shouldn't complain. As the starter, we shouldn't complain. If we get Melvin Ingram or Justin Houston, then Audrey can move to nose tackle. I don't know about that. Will Bud Dupree be ready week 1? Two-Tone Zone, what's up? Jay in the bit. I can see Titans 10 floor, 7 floor, and 14 floor ceiling. That's a good prediction, Titan up. Jay in the Bay. We'll just have to wait until after training camp to see if Bud Dupree is officially going to be ready. We don't know for sure if he'll be ready. SM Ducky, welcome. Thank you, Two-Tone Zone. Hit the like button. Oh, yeah, please feel free to share and like and subscribe as well. And man, we had a lot to think about. Now we're just sitting here waiting for Aaron Rodgers' final results. Will he, in fact, wave the white flag? But we'll just see where he waves the white flag for. I'm completely quite honest. What I heard, Audrey is Reset and can play nose tackle if we add another pass rusher. Well, let's just hope we got another pass rusher, Mr. Weezer. To be quite honest, it's going to be a long season. To be quite honest, and don't forget, Titans have a chance to study under the defending Super Bowl champs preseason week 2. Because, yeah, we played the Buccaneers preseason. I know preseason doesn't count, but if we study Buccaneers, then this is a preseason week we should focus on. That preseason practice is on August 17th and 18th. Do we have Super Bowl chances? Mr. Weezer, I believe based on teams that did not make it that did not win a Super Bowl, that the Titans are the third best chance. The two that are ahead are Buffalo Bills and Cleveland Browns. But I think we do have Super Bowl chances. Why honest? I mean, seriously, we took some huge risks this season. We bid farewell to Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith, Adoree Jackson, Dennis Kelly, to be quite honest. And what do? We signed in Bud Dupree. We signed in Danico Audrey. We signed in Kendall Lamb. We drafted Caleb Farley. We drafted Dylan Reynes. And who did we trade it for? Julio Jones. I'm somewhat worried about Shane Bowen in the defense. Mr. Weezer, I completely agree with you. I just wish, to be quite honest, I think we would have been safer with Terrell Austin rather than Shane Bowen. But at least there is some good parts about it. Jim Schwartz is back as a senior defensive assistant. So yeah, I think Jim Schwartz is going to be able to give Shane Bowen some help. That's the only good thing about Shane Bowen being the defensive coordinator. They lure Jim Schwartz back home to Tennessee. D, welcome. How does it feel knowing that Patrick Mahomes, your team's QB, made the Madden cover? Well, one of two teams. One of the two guys. The other was Tampa Bay Buccaneers QB Tom Brady. To be quite honest, should you be at least worried? Because your Chiefs may have fought the Madden curse 2 years ago and won the Super Bowl. But can you do it again? To be quite honest, can you do it again? If they do, Kansas City Chiefs will make history as the only NFL team to fight and succeed in destroying the Madden curse. The Madden curse is fake, but it is a fun joke. Oh, really? How do you explain all the other teams that had guys on the Madden cover? To be quite honest, last year was Lamar Jackson. And what did that get him? Sure, Lamar wasn't injured, but he tested positive for COVID, which cost them a big game against Pittsburgh Steelers. Sure, there were a lot of Ravens players. Is the Madden curse some religion? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's the ghost of John Madden haunting everyone who is on their cover. Last year, the pandemic was the Madden curse for Baltimore Ravens. Even though they managed to succeed. How do you think your offensive line will produce? D, to be quite honest, I just want to focus on who's going to be the right tackle, Kendall Lamb or Dylan Raines, to be quite honest. But I hope the offensive line is ready to go, to be quite honest. And I also don't want Taylor Lewan getting injured again before we go up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Isaiah Wilson should have won MVP last year, but he didn't. I think it will be Dylan Raines with Nate Turner next to him. Yeah, I think you may be right. I mean, Dylan Raines definitely proved his mettle. Believe me, he earned his medal for sure. Of course, we'll have to focus on Nate Davis's contract along with A.J. Brown's contract after 2022. But next year we got Rashad Evans and Harold Landry's to deal with. And I think Jeffrey Simmons would definitely get that fifth-year option because, let's face it, he was the only first-round pick to actually do something right for the Titans. Is Nick Davis good? To be quite honest, he's an incredible guard. Titans picked him up in the third round after they got A.J. Brown, to be quite honest. Of course, that's what happens when you're drafted in the team's hometown. You make that home team unstoppable. They grow up a lot, and I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing a more dangerous Cleveland Browns team because let's face it, all the guys they brought onto their team, and they hosted the draft. Greg Newsome, J.O.K. We'll be making a video when Tyrann Mathieu gets extended this July. D, yes. To be quite on, yes, D. That's what I do. Unless I'm at work, to be quite honest. I just got my job back. It's probably why I was a few steps behind. Man, NFC West will be hot. You better believe it, tighten up. You better believe it. Where do you work? I work at... Also, that's why you haven't been posting much. Yeah, D. You better believe it. Anyways, it's time for me to sign off. I'll see you all next time.